20 years ago, the idea that lifestyle had anything to do with a serious disease like cancer was considered ridiculous. But attitudes have changed, and so has the science. We now know that most cancers are caused or driven by lifestyle issues. And so that is where we need to look to stem the tide of this formidable disease.
It was 2 days before my 9th birthday when I was first diagnosed. And so we had to sort of rush up to Bristol Hospital that was quite a way away from our home. At the beginning, everything just began to happen like so fast. At that age, I didn't really know what was going on straight away. I didn't quite understand it all, and it was more like the smaller things that upset me straight away was like I was supposed to be going to my friend's birthday. I always remember that, and I couldn't go.
It's hard to convey the devastating effect that a diagnosis of cancer has on a family. From one day to the next, actually from one moment to the next, life is completely upended, irrevocably changed. Cancer is so much more than an illness. Throughout a year of treatment that Bryony spent mostly in hospital wards, followed by a leg amputation and a further 6 months treatment for a second cancer at age 13, possibly the greatest struggle was to maintain any sense of choice and control over our situation, and not to simply surrender to the excruciating processes of oncology and the expectation that we, as parents, could play no significant part in protecting and supporting our precious daughter.
Despite the steady stream of cancer breakthroughs coming from the media, the alarming statistics underlying our situation are unavoidable. More and more of us are being diagnosed younger and younger every year. Already, half of us will get cancer in our lifetime. And with cases accelerating at the present rate, it won't be long before nearly everyone is diagnosed. Unless, that is, we change our focus. Yes to Life is a UK-registered charity celebrating 20 years of helping people with cancer live longer, happier, healthier lives. Integrative therapies for cancer are becoming more and more popular with a public who increasingly want choice and control in their healthcare. And it's important to note that as a rule, these approaches aren't toxic. They're not invasive. In fact, they work to promote health and well-being.
18 months ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I felt at the time under a lot of pressure to have surgery and some of the modern medicine approaches that were being offered to me. But I also felt that I was on a conveyor belt, and it was all happening very fast, and I didn't feel that I was in control, I was making the decision. So I took a bit of time out to think about what I wanted, and stumbled across Yes to Life. And I was just so relieved to find them. Somebody who doesn't support one route or another, but supports your choice.
So that's why we set up Yes to Life. It's, we're a charity which we set up to initially help fund my treatment, but also we want it to continue on to help other people in the same situation.
Yes to Life is a great organisation. I think they're really pushing the boundaries of what we can talk about.
Yes to Life represent to me choice for people with cancer, and I think that's the most important thing of all.
It's really important to have a place that a person can go to that we know is providing up-to-date, good quality information.
For so long, people with cancer have had everything done to them and they've been told what they need and they've not really had much input. They've just gone along, had their treatment, gone home and been told there's nothing else they can do to support their health. We now know from the research that's absolutely not the case. There's so much they can do.
There's been a huge increase in the amount of research that's demonstrating people benefit from psychological support, from nutritional support, from social support, and that if you can provide this in collaboration with biomedicine, then actually you have a much better outcome.
We now know that the way people live has a real fundamental impact on not just whether they get cancer in the first place, but on the way that that cancer develops and whether it can be put into remission.
Having a common goal, which is patient-focused, is something that everyone wants to get involved in, and Yes to Life is just facilitating that process.
And it's kind of grown and grown, and so we're thinking of the name for it and came up with Yes to Life because, I mean, that's what it's about. Like, people who come to us, we want to be able to say yes to them. It's sort of just grown from that. I mean, it's really taken off. It's amazing what's happened.